So, you've probably heard that yoga is great for circulation, right? But how? How does it actually work? Well, today we're going to break down the real science behind it, how just a few simple poses can get your body's amazing internal delivery system, your blood flow, working at its absolute best. Let me ask you something. Do you ever get those annoyingly cooled fingers and toes? Or that pins and needles tingle in your arms or legs? Yeah, those can totally be signs of poor circulation. But here's the good news. You don't need to do anything crazy. Just a little bit of the right kind of movement can make a massive difference. All right, so to really get how yoga helps, we first got to understand the system it's helping. I want you to think about your circulatory system as your body's own internal ocean. Seriously, it's this huge, moving network of waterways that reaches every single tiny corner of you. And when I say vast, I mean it's almost unbelievable. Get this, if you could somehow take all the blood vessels in your body, all the arteries, veins, capillaries, everything, and lay them out in one long line, that line would stretch for 100,000 kilometers. To put that in perspective, that's enough to wrap around the entire planet more than twice. It's just wild. Now, here's a super important point. This whole system, it's a closed system. Your blood is always neatly contained inside those vessels, kind of like cars on a highway. It's not just sloshing around. And this is why that old idea that doing a headstand bathes your brain in fresh blood is a total myth. I mean, think about it. Uncontrolled blood flow in your brain is, well, it's a stroke. Your body is way, way smarter than that. It has these incredible mechanisms to regulate blood flow to the brain with absolute precision. And this highway system has two main types of roads, right? You've got your arteries, which are like the express lanes. They carry all the fresh, oxygen-packed blood away from the heart. They're under high pressure, so they gotta be strong. But then you have the veins, and man, they have the tougher job. They have to bring all that used blood back to the heart, and they're fighting gravity the whole way. To pull this off, they have these genius little one-way valves that stop the blood from sliding back down. This quote nails it. And if you want a perfect real-world example, just think about those royal guards. You know, the ones who have to stand perfectly still for hours, and every now and then one of them just faints. Well, that's not a failure. It's actually an incredibly smart safety feature. Gravity is pulling all the blood down into their legs, and the body's like, nope, we need that blood up in the brain. So it just lays you out flat. Suddenly, the heart doesn't have to fight gravity anymore, and whoosh, blood gets right back to the head. It's brilliant, really. Okay, so if just standing still is that hard on our circulation, it's pretty clear that movement has to be the answer, right? But yoga's special. It's not just random movement. It acts like a super smart assistant for your circulatory system. Let's dig into how it does that. It really boils down to three main things. Three awesome ways yoga helps out. First, it uses your muscles to literally act as a second heart. Second, it flips gravity on its head and turns it into a helper. And third, it uses the simple power of your breath to create this amazing vacuum effect. Let's break each one down. Okay, mechanism number one, the second heart. So your veins, which are working so hard to push blood uphill, get a major assist from the muscles surrounding them. Every time you contract a muscle, it gives those veins a little squeeze, pushing the blood along. This is especially true for your calf muscles. They're so crucial for this that they're literally nicknamed the second heart. So any yoga pose that gets your big leg muscles working is basically turning on this amazing muscle pump. All right, number two is all about making gravity your friend. An inversion sounds fancy, but it just means any pose where your head is below your heart. And when you do that, you're basically giving your circulatory system a little vacation. All that blood that was fighting so hard to get out of your legs, now it can just flow downhill, no effort. It's an instant break for your heart, and it's why it feels so good for tired, swollen legs. And the third one, this one is so cool. It's the power of your breath. It's subtle, but it's incredible. When you take a deep, diaphragmatic breath, a real belly breath, you actually change the pressure inside your chest cavity. You create this gentle vacuum effect that literally helps pull the blood from your arms and legs back towards your heart. It's like you have this built-in pump that you can power up with every single breath you take. How amazing is that? Okay, so we've covered the how. Now let's get practical and look at the what. I'm going to walk you through 3 awesome, super accessible poses that put all these principles to work so you can see exactly how to pump up your own circulation. First up, a classic, Warrior Two. You've definitely seen this one. It looks powerful, and trust me, it feels powerful. But it's also working wonders for your circulation. See, while you're holding this pose, you're not just building strength. You're firing up your thigh and calf muscles. There's that second heart again, and they are actively squeezing your veins, pushing that blood right back up towards your heart. Plus, with your chest open wide like this, you can take in more oxygen, which means you're sending better quality fuel all through your body. Next up, probably the most famous yoga pose on the planet, downward facing dog. And yeah, it's a great stretch, but it's also a circulation superstar because it's a 2-for-1 deal.
Here's why it's so brilliant. First, it's a gentle inversion, right? Your heart is higher than your head, so gravity is already doing you a favor, helping drain the blood from your legs. But then, as you press your heels toward the floor, you're engaging your calf muscles, activating that second heart pump at the exact same time. It's just so efficient.
And finally, my personal favorite and maybe the most chill pose ever, legs up the wall. This one is pure bliss, and it's all about letting your body get some passive help. This is the ultimate let gravity do the work pose. Seriously, after a long day on your feet, just putting your legs up like this, it allows all that blood and fluid that's pulled down there to just effortlessly drain back towards your heart. You can feel the relief almost instantly. The pressure just disappears from your legs and feet. It's incredibly calming and oh so good for your circulation. Okay, so moving blood around better is obviously a huge win. But the benefits? They don't stop there. Not even close. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the whole body payoff you get from this. This stuff goes way beyond just your veins and arteries. A regular practice is scientifically linked to lowering your stress hormones, like cortisol. And when cortisol goes down, your blood pressure often follows, which is fantastic for your heart in the long run. And it's not just your body. When your brain is getting a steady, rich supply of oxygen, well, what do you think happens? You feel more alert, you can focus better, your mood just gets brighter. It's all connected. So, let's go back to where we started. Your body is a moving ocean. It's this incredible dynamic system that's just built for constant life-giving flow. The only question left is, how are you going to make some waves today?